Hello friends, a very warm welcome. And here we are going to take up economic optional paper 2, but they are having a much broader area because they are so much interwoven with the understanding of the whole economic scenario, what is happening in India and around the world. So that is why it is a very broad exercise, authentic and a real-time exercise to help and learn on the spot so that you can do on your own uh, such a kind of work where it will give you more rewards definitely with time, thereby getting success. First question, in fact, says there is a need for an apex agency to monitor and regulate the entry and functioning of transnational corporations in context of India's broader national interest. Give arguments in support of your answer. So whether you agree with that, whether you not agree, first of all, always remember that if a government is not or government is taking certain step in certain direction and it is going with that such policy, and if you can see in last 10 or 15 or 20 years if it has done, then only always support it.
Mhm.
Otherwise you can always justify that whatever existing structure is there, how you can better efficiently utilize it. That is one way. Whether you are not able to bring so many ideas, but then if you are having right approach to it, then half marks at least means 50% marks, at least about 50%. I would say 50% is a big score, but then about 50%, if it is substantiated with data, you will always get it. So MNC forms a great part of greenfield FDI in India with multiplier effect for growth and development. Regulation becomes crucial to align with their objectives with the inclusive growth vision of India. And one thing I would like to suggest over here, when we speak about MNCs, then they are not the only one. It is multinational, transnational corporations means the Indian companies also which are operating outside India. So we always, when we speak about greenfield FDI, that's why I'm speaking here. Then we always think that whatever is inward FDI, but what about the outward FDI? We also provide. Outward FDI to countries like Mauritius, to Singapore, to US, to Germany. That is also a very important part of the transnational corporations. So regulations become crucial to align with the objective. Need for apex agency is not urgent due to existing framework that can be strengthened by the following. Ministry of Corporate Affairs permit FDI inflow, have adopted transparent approach in single window. Processing time reduced from hours to months. Very true. This is one of the regulatory approach that you are writing. Commodity Commission of India to ensure fair market competition and antitrust practices one has to see. For example, scrutinizing against the Google for misusing dominant position through dark patterns. Regulatory reforms, single corporate tax at 15% as proposed by OECD. Also, digital equalization levy imposed to prevent the base erosion and profit shifting. A single body would be needed to do away with the duplication measures, transition to precision with dynamic working of MNCs, GCCs, data centers, allow perfect competition and prevent insider trading regulated by SBI. Specialization, exponential growth of quick commerce at 13% annually with rural reach. Therefore, accountability and corporate governance will drive the next generation growth of MNC. So very true, because when the question says that do we need an apex body, so always remember what are the challenges. What about their credit? What about their technology access? What about their ease of doing business? What about their pattern of existence? What about their how they are avoiding double taxation?
Mhm.
How they want to grow? How they want to see themselves? So these kind of examples then really help. So I think fair justice is being done. Again, it is a very fair approach. But like in the paper one, we always discuss that we have to bring we have to push in actually. Say for example, uh, the role of when we speak about transnational corporations, then how actually the global economic scenario, whatever is the global economic scenario, in that scenario also, how the margin, what is the margin, what is the profit, what is the leverage, how we can attract also. So that is why we say about apex body, because apex body or even any policy, the goal is to make sure that we are the hub, that we have a share in global supply chain, we have a share in global capability centers and so forth. So I think fair enough, but then again the exercise will continue. Agro based industry, especially food processing utilities or units, can alter the fate of rural area. I think we have discussed this before. And also the wonderful question, agro based industries are catalysts for strengthening backward and forward linkages to proper rural growth as stated by Fiki and break the shackles of poverty. Very true. It is estimated by IDBI that the food processing industries will grow with a market size of US 80 billion by 2030. The significance of agro-based industries lies from the transition from primary sector driven growth of rural India to create permanent employment to the tune of 3 million. Very true. And in that agro-based also, we are actually talking about dairy. we are speaking about, if we read question very carefully, then it is speaking about that how uh, food processing units, okay, agro-based industry, especially food processing units. Okay, that's fine. That is the only thing. So by 2030, you have written correctly. 3 million, very good. Bedrock of evergreen revolution that will make India hub FMCG product. बिल्कुल इसमें हम एक ही level, like in the second point, we are definitely going with the right way. But then you could have visualized, or maybe later on we can find in the answer, that high yielding variety crops, good crops. So more time for, they will perish in more time. There will be more storage time for it. More higher variety, then better is for food processing, because food processing is still in the nascent stage. It is a sunrise sector, and we have a huge scope in it. That's why we are creating food processing parks, and like you have just rightly written, FMCG goods generating export potential, food parks at Indore, Banaras. In that context, you can bring the role of, that agriculture produce export development authority is there, or even the role of small industrial development bank of India, how they are providing the finance, or even National Institute of Food Technology and Entrepreneurship Management, that is there at, one is at Kundli and one it is in Tamil Nadu. I can't recall the exact place. So this is very good point. Ghost villages being the industrial clusters, DPIIT. I think wonderful points are there. They are all focusing towards food processing. लेकिन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मॉडर्नाइजेशन ठीक है, आपने बोला हार्वर्ड डॉमर मॉडल, कोल्ड स्टोरेज, वेयर हाउसेस, पोस्ट लॉजिस्टिक सप्लाई चेन, डीएफसी, रेल फ्राइट, प्रमोशन ऑफ कोऑपरेटिव्स. बट एक जो एलिमेंट है इकोनॉमिक्स में जो बहुत ये फूड प्रोसेसिंग इंडस्ट्री के लिए है, फॉर एग्जांपल मेंटेनिंग द स्टैंडर्ड. when you're exporting, you need a certain standard, how you will ensure that, supply chain का जो है,
जी
you
सर.
have to maintain standard. You have to be like, you have to create export oriented units. And then not just for Indian diaspora, we are talking about the rest of the world also. So India, this is says, is the largest producer of fruits and vegetables. From that perspective, food processing तो कुछ भी नहीं है. उसकी reason है, the reason is again the same I am saying, cost cutting होना पड़ेगा. The
जी
cost of establishment must come down. So I think it's a very important, very important, I should say, uh, the linkage that you have created. So I think very good points are there. They all are wonderful points. But the only point is that to raise the picture a little bit more in context of, food processing units, we just have to, bring little bit more data over here and some keywords, so that food processing becomes, the answer becomes much and much, I should say, much light. It is already light, it is already structured, but then how we can create a kind of a element of growth driver. For example, Ministry of Food Processing is already doing a lot. मखाने की जैसे बात हुई थी in Bihar, I remember.
हाँ मखाना बोर्ड.
They are going to establish a makhana board. एंड देन वही बात है कि रेडी टू ईट जो हो रहा है, एमटी, जैसे एमटीआर है, रेडी टू ईट फूड्स हो रहे हैं, टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट, तो रेडी टू ईट का आपने नाम डाल दिया, मेगा फूड पार्क तो आपने बोला ही है. सो आई थिंक आफ्टर दैट nothing remains as such, because it is very important to understand that by 2030 we want to create a great industry. And it is as we were just talking about, ease of doing business, in that we have to see that it is basically preservation,
जी
preservation and packaging. So technology also comes into picture.
जी
How far it can, how long you can preserve. So that is why raw material का हो गया primary phase. सेकेंडरी फेज इट ऑल्ट्रेशन, लाइक हमने उसका जूस बना दिया, या हमने उसका कुछ भी बना दिया, ब्रेड बना दिया, तो आपने बताया ही है वो. तो फिर उसके बाद जो है तीसरा फेज आ जाता है आपका टर्शरी, जब वो मार्केट हो गया. तो 3 फेजेस में आप इसको पूरा, जैसा आपने बताया है, विदाउट राइटिंग इट, यू हैव ऑलरेडी एबल टू. मैरीन फूड का भी नाम ले आओ, पोल्ट्री का भी ले आओ, वो भी, वो ऐसा, मतलब दिस विल गिव अस सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ लीवरेज विद एवरीबॉडी, व्हाट एवरीबॉडी मे नॉट बी राइट. अदरवाइज ऑल पॉइंट्स आर विजिबल. एंड आप किसी का नाम भी ले सकते हो, जैसे हनीवेल. आई रिमेंबर हनीवेल इज अ वेरी फेमस. हनीवेल फूड प्रोसेसिंग एंड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक है बहुत फेमस. सो आई थिंक this is how what we can do it. I think it is well written, and the fact that little bit of more data is going to just help us, because वो ये छोटा छोटा, not much, छोटा छोटा करना है. और एक दो स्कीम्स का अगर आपको नाम पता है, that scheme also we can always bring over here. Schemes also are there, but we will, when we revise, we will bring it over here. Recent policy initiatives for enhancing crude oil and natural gas production in India. I think wonderful question. In last one decade, government of India has been doing a lot, and in fact, we have been speaking in our discussions. Abhi हमने recently भी in our one of our economics group, I posted that one
Hmm.
infographic by Honorable Prime Minister. So वही है question, ये देख लो आप साफ साफ. तो ये तो पहले आया था, but then it continues. Panna in Madhya Pradesh, the example was given. So we have to understand that like the way you have written, हाइड्रोकार्बन एक्सप्लोरेशन लाइसेंसिंग पॉलिसी की आपने बात की. उसके बाद इंडिया फर्स्ट ऑफशोर डीकमिशनिंग तापी पन्ना, वेरी गुड. स्ट्रेटेजिक ऑयल रिजर्व्स एक्सपेंशन 500 पाडूर एंड विशाखापट्टनम, ग्रीन एनर्जी ट्रांजिशन. चलिए चलिए आगे चलिए. वेरी गुड. CFE norms, wonderful, I think. Bilateral agreements to bypass OPEC collusive decisions, Qatar supply, shale gas operation in Andhra Pradesh, therefore reach and development by OC. I think very light, very clear, very simple, and to the point.
जी सर.
That's
That.
how it is.
Hmm.
So we are creating a kind of a model, kind of a basic element into it, and then it is already reflecting. So what are the takeaways you can just share?
Sir, a few questions where I'm thinking little general. I have to focus more on adding facts also. Like
Hmm.
we have to write it from the perspective
As
of.
we are collecting, and then in food processing, I forgot to share with you, millet को जरूर ले आओ.
जी.
क्योंकि हम तो पूरे वर्ल्ड में मिलेट को कर रहे हैं. एक लाइन, मतलब एक चीज के बारे में हमें ज्यादा लिखना ही नहीं है, उसको रोकना है अपने आप.
हाँ.
रोक दो. दो
जी.
लाइन के बाद मजबूर कर दो, बस भाई इसमें नंबर नहीं आएगा, और चाहे आप एक पैरा लिख दो, नंबर उतना ही आएगा.
हम्म.
एट द एंड ऑफ द डे वी हैव टू गेट अ स्कोर.
जी.
तो बियॉन्ड सर्टेन पॉइंट, वो जितना भी बड़ा है, रिपीटेड है, कुछ भी है, स्कोर नहीं बढ़ेगा. दैट इज द होल पॉइंट.
हम्म.
So last question, I would say, like the way we had done for oil and energy production in India,
जी.
that is going to give a score. Because
हम्म.
हम उसमें भी अगर हम थोड़ा डेटा और ले आते कि 20% हमारा पूरा करेगा, और प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट 10% कम हो जाएगी, कुछ भी डेटा में बात करो आप, स्टाइल्स, मतलब स्पीक इन इकोनॉमिक टर्म्स.
जी.
How private sector participation is ensured,
हम्म.
funding is there for them, you know,
हाँ
how
जी.
we are encouraging private players by giving them. जैसे अभी जैसे आपको कहीं यूज करना चाहिए, यहाँ फिट नहीं होता, लेकिन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी जो आपका है,
हम्म.
जिन्होंने उसको वो जो अभी जेनको, व्हाट वाज दैट नेम, दैट वो ब्लू स्मार्ट वाला जो था, ब्लू स्मार्ट फियस्को हुआ ना अभी, जिसमें पैसा.
जेनसोल था.
हाँ, जेनसोल. तो अब देखो, उसको करने के बाद भी द कंपनी इज सेइंग दैट वी आर नॉट टू मच बॉदर्ड, हमने 100 करोड़ के आसपास तो वसूल कर लिया है. इट्स अ
हम्म.
ब्रिलियंट आइडिया. मैनी ऑफ द कार्स विच आर देयर रनिंग, उसके आधे लोन पार हो चुके हैं. और
हाँ.
अपना खुद का जो उनका खुद के बाकी बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, जो इक्विटी के बेसिस के ऊपर हैं, या जो बाकी जो, तो दैट्स हाउ इट इज. यू हैव टू जस्ट सी फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव कि कोई भी बड़ी कंपनी कैसे अपने को हेज करके चल रही है.
हम्म.
इतने सारे अलग अलग प्रोजेक्ट्स में पैसा है कि एक प्रोजेक्ट के नुकसान होने से भी कोई नुकसान
हाँ, डिस्टेबलाइज नहीं हुआ कुछ.
डिस्टेबलाइज नहीं होगा. बस ठीक है. तो वी आर मूविंग इन दैट डायरेक्शन. वी विल कंटिन्यू टू push to make it more lighter, and this is obviously very very demanding and a different exercise. It's a whole emotional, behavioral, and also kind of philosophical aspect. So it comes through self realization and self learning, and that's how the journey is. So thank you very much, one and all, for being with us. Keep learning on your own. Keep learning through other sources. Keep learning wherever possible. Try to make sure that one day you don't regret that you didn't try to put your best. That is the idea which motivate us, create different programs, and try to, together get success with Ansarkari. Thank you very much.